Hi, welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Chemda.
I'm Keith Malley. Ray DeVito is here. Hello, Ray.
Hello, what's going on, guys?
Myq Kaplan is here. Hopefully that was rhetorical. How you doing, Myq?
I'm good and happy that Ray's here.
All right. Well, I'm happy that Mike's here. Now I feel like I didn't say that. No, I'm happy you're here.
Too late, Ray.
Now we have a battle of who's happier.
I come across this in the Keith and the Girl chat a lot. Somebody shares a bad story, and then somebody else goes, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." And I'm like, "I'm sorry to hear it too."
Keith, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Myq Kaplan has a new album you can check out. It's called Live in Between Albums.
That's right.
Explain.
Keith, that's so kind of you to ask.
I go, hey, I'm looking this up right now, and it says the album's 2018. And he goes, that's right. You are saying that correctly. And I'm like,
yes.
Okay, no further questions.
So in 2016, I recorded an album called No Kidding. The theme of which was I Don't Want Kids. In 2020, as you know, Keith, the album that features you is AKA, which stands for All Killing Aside, the theme of which is love, compassion, not murdering. So basically, I want to not add kids to the world, and I want no one to murder anyone. So I want the number of people to remain constant, essentially in equilibrium, or peopleibrium, if you will. You needn't. But in between, I was still writing jokes that didn't fit either of the themes. But I wanted to focus on those themed shows, but I still wanted people to be able to hear the jokes that I was writing that didn't have anything to do with them. So in 2017, I recorded this album, and in 2018,
I can't wait to hear Ray's process on his
Honestly, this is the best elevator pitch I've ever heard. We are riding a wave.
I really appreciate it. You know, the reason I was a couple minutes late to sound check was I was practicing this elevator pitch. So I was like, I'm going to get it perfect on the show and for TikTok. But in 2018, this album recorded in 2017, but as you saw correctly, Keith, came out in 2018, but it was only released on Sirius satellite radio. So for years, people have been listening to satellite radio and being like, when can I get that album? And I was like, you can't until now, March of 2023. People are like, but I want to hear it. I love this thing. And I'm like, well, you did hear it. If you heard it, then you heard it. But for now, you can get it. But I called it Live in Between Albums because it was basically a bunch of extra kind of misfit jokes that didn't go anywhere, that felt like they didn't belong. But I was like, but they're valid. They're valuable. I want people to hear them. And so it's an album full.
Can I paraphrase?
Yes, Keith.
Okay. If you're just joining us, Myq Kaplan has an album. It was on Sirius XM in 2018. He didn't have permission to sell it until today. Here it is. You can get it.
That was pretty good, Keith. But my only two notes are
way off. Right? Everybody says my paraphrasing is always way off.
Yeah, just only two minor notes. One is I did have permission. I just didn't have the desire to release it widely until now.
He didn't think it was good enough for you to hear until today. Get it?
No, he didn't have desire for you to hear it until just now. It took him 5 years to get desire for you to buy it. First, he had desire for you to hear it. Now he has desire for you to buy it.
He heard all the other crap that was out there. It's like, wait a minute, my stuff's better than this. I got to get it out there. I can't deny people this. So that's what I got out of it.
I'll give you notes on your interpretation after my second point to Keith, which is my only other note is you went way too short. You should have said a lot more things to get out the very simple idea that you expressed.
Now, Ray DeVito has an album called A Life Without Balconies. And
they're here to battle.
Right. Well, the story behind that is you can get it. Period. Also, this is exciting to find out who Keith and the Girl listeners like more. And again, Ray DeVito, A Life Without Balconies versus Myq Kaplan, Live in Between Albums.
Well, A Life Without Balconies, which is New York City living, right? However, you are one of the few people I know that has always lived in an apartment with 2 balconies.
That is true. Yes. Yeah, it goes into a joke. It was actually came off a riff when I was doing a joke about having a saltwater fish tank.
The title, sorry, let me just paraphrase so Hemda understands. The titles, sometimes these comedians, they have titles, okay? The titles are from jokes or a theme that they have in the album, right?
Yeah. It just came organically. I was riffing after a joke, and this album was also a series.
David Bowie made a machine early on in the 70s that just put random words, and he would turn those into songs. But that is not what you're doing. You're taking it from a joke that you've said about balconies and living in New York.
Okay, thank you, Keith.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right, I apologize for my question 5 minutes ago that you somehow made longer because you hated it.
What you want to do, of course, is listen to Ray DeVito on, both these people. You type in keithandthegirl.com/ and their names and hear the times that they've been on, 80 to 100 times easily. They're your favorites. You know that. If you're new to the show, check those old shows out. And in fact, one of my favorite VIP episodes is with Hollywood Craig Klein, who was on just the other day, and Rod Morrow from The Black Guy Who Tips, and Ray DeVito, and that's under Diamond Dogs. The show is called Rock Bottom, formerly known as the G Hole. And I
Keith, can I?
Yes, Mike.
Can I offer an idea that I think is gonna? I love your paraphrases, and I wonder. It might take a long time to do this. Oh no! I love the full.
Love it.
Everything that I say, and I love the short. I love when Keith doesn't say a lot. I love when Keith only says things in a very short. I love me talking long and Keith talking short. I would love for there to be a version of the show that you can get. You know those things where they have like every woman in a movie talking, but then the movie that's 2 hours is only like 3 minutes long, or every person of color talking in a movie, and then it's only 1 minute long. And so I want that version for this, where it's just Keith's paraphrase of any of my or Ray's or any guest's explanations, so that I think the whole 3,640 something years worth of Keith and the Girl will all be able to fit in one show.
How much of that could have been parentheses?
Yeah.
I mean, parentheses is my style.
Mike starts his album talking about how these MCs butcher intros. For example, he says, "This person had was it an hour on Comedy Central?" And then Mike's like, "What the fuck? Well, that's not how this magic is supposed to work. A half hour, okay." Myq Kaplan. I remember when I would
keep your hands together for Myq Kaplan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, for a second, I forgot that I'm in comedy. So, like when you said MC, I listen to a lot of rap music. So I'm like MC. I'm thinking rappers. I was like, oh wait, I'm in comedy. What am I talking about?
Oh my God, Ray, you are so diggy down. It's like hard to stop you.
What's the worst way you've been called to stage, Ray? Do you know?
I just hate when they say your name and then they keep talking. Because once you say the name, that's it. I'm going on stage. Don't say, hey, here's Ray DeVito. Oh, and he's done this. He's done. Like, you said my name. Just say my name last. That's it. Don't keep talking. It's like, all right, now this is awkward. I'm like taking the mic away from like, stop talking.
You start walking up, then you got to act like you're stretching.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard Joe List's stories about being introduced in ridiculous ways? This will be real short.
7 guests already, but we got to hear what Joe List is up to.
I'm sorry. I thought a fun story would be enjoyable. But,
I like fun stories. What's he say?
So Joe List was headlining a show, and the host comes up to him and says, "I just want to make sure that I get your name right." And Joe says, "Oh, it's very easy. It's Joe List, List." He spells out his name. It's a very simple word. Many people know. And then the guy on stage says, "Please welcome Joe List."
I've gotten when I started doing stand-up, they go, I don't have any credits. And so they said, what should I say? And I'm like, I do have a blog, and I think people might know that. It's shite.com. That's it. That's all you have to say. And he goes, okay. This person has a website. What is it? Shitty.com. I'm like, who gives a fuck? I say my own name. I go, Keith Valley. Hey, I'm here. Yeah, it's embarrassing. No comics don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna look up your credits as you're coming to say, oh wait, he did what? I'm writing this down. That's what I gotta check out. Just say my name. It's fine.
I gotta say that with a name like Chemda, you would think that I would have the worst introductions, but I think because people super don't want to fuck it up, by the time they're introducing me on stage, which is very rare, they get it right. I'm thinking about it while you guys are sharing, going, the worst introductions I've had are the teachers reading the name on the first day, just going one by one. And it's like, oh, and they go like Susie and Mike and Ray and Keith and Ryan. And that pauses me. I'm here. Let me get it. No, I'm here. Please move on. Please don't even try. Please.
It's the girl. Just call me the girl.
And then they'll go, their girl? No, okay. Okay.
yeah.
I went to yeshiva for 9 years. You would think anyone who knows how to say Baruch Atah Adonai would know how to say Chemda. I don't. The little math that I did, and I did pretty well in math in Hebrew school. I got 100 on my fucking regions. Now I'm holding on to that, even though it has been 35 fucking years since I took that test.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking of those when we would go to podcast conventions, and it was if an older woman didn't hear about us but is talking to us, they got to throw in a couple times that it is misogynistic to call it Keith and the girl. And then I'll say, we've been talking for 20 minutes. What's Chemda's name? And I go, Chemda's name? Like, and then Chemda goes, okay.
Yeah, it's not, honestly, the show title is not anti-feminist. It's anti-racism. Like there's all my life, what's your name? How do I say it? Can you spell it for me? The girl. It's because you people, and I say you people, whoever it is, cannot say my name. When you people know how to say my name, your feminism will shine.
By the way, I do love that your nickname should be The Paws. That sounds like a wrestling name. Here comes The Paws. That's awesome. The Paws is a great nickname for you, The Paws.
Oh my God, I love that.
Hemda the Paws.
I've wanted a nickname all my life.
Wow.
I am the Paws.
The Paws.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Let's bring out the Paws. You getting mad? Think about it. Here comes the Paws. You gonna hit your kid? Hold it. The Paws.
I like it.
I don't know that I fully get it.
When they would do name call in her classes, and she knew it was her when there was a pause. Pause.
Stop. Please, I like it so much better when Keith doesn't understand it. Please.
No.
Can you not mansplain to your fellow man?
Right. You have to. That's why we don't know half this shit because we can't explain to each other.
Man on mansplaining sounds like the best kind of splaining.
That sounds like the best kind of porn.
By the way, speaking of porn, Ray, in your album, I enjoyed this. You talked about masturbating, and of course, we didn't have any kind of sex talk. We weren't told about masturbating. You're probably 11, 12 years old, and you go to your dad with literally a load in your hand and go, "What's this?"
Yeah, first time,
and showed it to him. And you know what? I've heard so many sad stories about you getting beaten up by your parents. Include this story in their defense. Dad, what's this load? And he goes, Raymond, stop it.
Ray, may I? And this is your story, and already, this is the best story I've ever heard. But can I just say, I went to my mother with period on my underwear to say, "What's this?" because I really wasn't sure. I guess I should have went with my hand and. Okay, you tell your story. Go ahead.
Ray, you should have gone with Chemda's underwear. Yeah.
The pause.
Yeah.
Did you really want to say that? Or the pause?
The not pregnant pause with your period. Yeah.
Ooh, the not pregnant pause. Period.
Yeah.
Ray, you were saying?
Truth be told, when I actually, I embellished for the joke, but no, I did not show him jizz in real life, but I did literally explain to him what's this? I got this white stuff, and he's just like, just stop it. That's enough. He didn't want to hear about. I think he thought I was joking. I'm like, no, seriously. Sometimes I rub and nothing comes out, and then sometimes stuff comes out. like a dummy. I got it now, but like that was a true story where he's like, just stop it. You're making this weird.
Oh.
It's like,
Ray,
you're
yeah.
fucking dad. Like
You weren't a dummy. You were a child who hadn't learned
Asking,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. You were doing the
my
right
dad,
thing.
I thought my dad, he goes, it is a nocturnal emission where one is, I'm like, okay, knock it off, Dad.
Yeah, you guys, first time did you guys know what it was when something, because you would do it and nothing but air would come out. It was nothing. It was just like a nice feeling. And then one day there's a mess. There's sometimes stuff will come out of you and then sometimes stuff didn't. Were you guys confused or you knew right away, like, oh, that's jizz?
I like Ray's Russian roulette. I was a weirdo, and so mine really was. No, I thought it sneezed.
I had.
Sneezed. That's so cute. Oh my god!
I thought it sneezed.
Haha. Thanks for asking, Ray. I had heard about masturbation, so I wasn't coming into it.
My 11-year-old dick. Thanks.
Someone's like, Psst, Mike, have you heard this? Mike.
But I will tell you this: the first time I did it, I knew something was going to come out, or I was told I understood that something could come out. So it felt like something was going to, and then I ran to the bathroom and I peed. Right. And then I was like, well, I don't see what the big deal is about all this. And then the next day I did it and it happened the standard way. And I was like, oh, now I do understand what the big deal is about this.
It changes your life. It changes your life. You're like, oh, I'm never going to ask what the point of living is because I just figured it out. Who cares? Why are they stopping me from trying to do this? Like, I thought they wanted the best for me. I just experienced the best.
Yeah.
I should have been encouraged.
Yeah.
To do
it's like,
this.
I'm not bothering anybody. I'm just doing this. Like, I'm not bothering anyone. I'm not.
This is the best self activity I could do. Like what I can. Wow. Is this?
It's the opposite of bothering somebody. It's pleasuring,
Unless
not somebody else.
Comedians.
Yeah.
If somebody else joins in, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't do it where before like jizz came out, like you weren't a little kid and just knew it felt good rubbing it on stuff.
I was a weirdo. I didn't do it till I was 18.
Oh, really? I didn't know what I was doing. I did not know I was like pleasuring myself. I was just like,
school. I mean, I guess all you guys got through life somehow, but honest, just like you just said, who gives a fuck about science? This is science. I'm creating universes. Yeah. You know, it would have changed. I would not be alive. I wouldn't be alive today. I would oil myself to death.
If not for jizz, none of us would be alive.
I would have dated better, I think, if I had figured it out by myself before, because until I could figure it out, and I was a fully grown adult, until I could figure it out, someone else
I still haven't
figured
figured it out.
Someone else has to help me until I figure it out, which means when I go out, I got to go look for someone who could help me with this. That was my brain. It was like, talking to this guy, he doesn't seem like he could help me out with this later. And then talking to this, maybe this person can. You know what? Oh, I think a woman might be able to help me out. And then like that's how I'm deciphering who's going to help me out. When you could figure it out for yourself, you're like, let me figure this out, then go out. Yeah. That makes a better night.
Women helping women. Yeah, and Ray, I think this is not like a sample size representative of the entire, male population of the United States or the world. Maybe it is, but I think that your experience is very common. I've heard a lot of people who did, of course, experiment with themselves before.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you were 6, I was 12, Keith was 18. It's always at a multiple of 6. Yeah.
I would like to hear. I'd like a compilation of comedians not necessarily trying to be funny, giving their kids a sex talk. I would like to hear Mike's track that's 18 minutes long with 17 parentheses and puns explaining that it's okay to touch yourself.
Happy to do it.
I'd love that. I want to hear everybody. I wanted to hear Gilbert Gottfried. How did he do it? Ryan V. I was a weird wannabe fancy kid who wore silk boxers. So all I had to do was roll over in bed and I'd paint the inside of my skivvies. How hip.
Skivvies.
Were you guys ever given sex talks?
No.
No, right?
No.
I had an experience when I was my 17th birthday, I had a party at my home that was like a sleepover. Multi-gendered, like friends from summer camp and some.
I don't think at 17, I think you call that an orgy, not a sleepover.
Yeah, but it was at my mom's house, so it was a slumber party, and like it wasn't like a bunch of, nobody was having sex that I'm aware of, but I did like fall asleep, like kind of making out with a girl in my basement, and didn't intend to sleep down there with her, but like my mom came down in the morning and saw us, and I think the talk was, not in my house.
Okay. And I learned how to buy a house.
Yeah, and so that's why to this day I don't live at my mom's house.
That's why parents should say not in my house. Otherwise, like, you're just gonna be there with them forever.
And do be careful. Don't say not under my roof, because then kids will do it on the roof for sure.
They would.
Right.
Yeah.
I love stories about Ray. When you date, you know that. I love that you took a girl to your place and you showed her baseball cards for an hour. No exaggeration, right? I think one date you did laundry with a woman.
That's a Dan Allen story. I don't remember it, but I could see me. I was multitasking. I think we went through this. We were on a date, but I had my clothes in the coin laundry, and I had to go back and throw them in the dryer, and then I threw them in the trunk. It's multitasking. I get things done, Keith.
Right,
and you're married to this day.
Yeah. Right. And then one of your favorite places, taking a chick to New York City museums on Fridays between 2 and 7 p.m.
Yeah, the MoMA. Yeah.
Are you dating currently? Do you have any interest?
There's a lady I talked to, but
hello,
it's nothing. Nothing.
But it's Femda on this podcast.
Yeah. It's me and the pause right now. You know how it is.
So are you seeing somebody or just into somebody?
No, just talking. Seeing what's up.
Talking?
Talking. Sometimes we make out.
We're talking. Well, I'll make out with you, but just tell people we're talking. Does she say that?
What is wait, hold on, because if we were having a sex talk right now and you would say to me, we're talking, but then we're also making out, I wouldn't know what the sex talk is. What does that mean? That you're just not committed? You're open?
No,
use anything but the word talking. What is your relationship with this woman? Lady.
We hang out, and we haven't had sex, but we fooled around. Okay. I don't see her that often.
How often do you need to see each other?
When's the last time I saw her? I might meet up with her this weekend, but yeah, I don't know. Last time I hung out with her was like before I went to New York City. So I went to New York City last week, so the week before that.
Chemda, Ray is a gentleman, and a gentleman doesn't talk and tell.
No, I will whatever
album, but all right.
No, I will let her dictate the relationship. Whatever she wants. If she wants to be serious, we could be serious. If she doesn't want to be serious, and it's the ball's in her court. I don't.
Is that sad? Is that tough? I've been there.
I approach all relationships like that. Whatever they want.
You like me, I like you. We'll be together forever.
Yeah.
You want it? Then no. How is it that easy, honey?
Yeah. I keep it simple.
Right. Did you tell her that? Like, hey, whatever you want.
Yeah. I don't think she's that serious about me.
No.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense. I don't want to act like I'm a genius. But it doesn't make sense. All right. So, like, if I see you and her together, shouldn't I know her name?
Yeah, we'll worry about that when we see when we're all hanging out. I'd be gladly introduced.
Give her a full name. Give her identifying characteristics. Give us a social security number, mother's maiden name, whatever you got.
If she said she loved you, would you happen to also love her?
I doubt she would say that. I think she talks to other guys too. So I don't think she's too crazy.
She's a talker, right?
She's a talker.
Chatty.
She's chatty.
Talkative. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm the only guy. Put it this way. She's the only girl on my radar right now. Not that I'm looking to add girls to my radar, but I think she's got other dudes on her radar.
Ray, do you like the word radar because it starts with your name? That's pretty fun.
I know you love words, and
I can always
if anyone
tell.
was going to pick that up on this podcast, I knew it would be you.
And you don't even know all the ones that go by without my saying. Like when Keith started saying Ray likes dating, I'm like, oh, you could start your own competitive website to JDate called Ray Date. It's just you dating all these. It doesn't have to be Jews even.
Hold on. Wait, how old is she?
She's 32, and I'm older. I'm a lot older than that.
Why? How old are you?
I'm 48 years old, so I'm.
Okay.
It's a gap.
Is she looking for a serious relationship?
No, I don't.
But
think
she
so.
found one.
No,
If she wants it.
yeah.
Okay. Does it ever tear you up inside a little bit? Like, just...
No, I really don't care.
Okay.
Does that ever make you feel good and grateful that you're connected to another human sometimes?
Oh, look at him. He's one of those glad. Are you happy sometimes too? Fuck, he's great.
I just don't want it to
I
be
am.
one-sided, Keith.
I don't know about you guys, Mike. I don't know what relationship you're in, but I will do like Bumble or Tinder,
He
and
does that. He does that. He doesn't mind.
it is like deflating, just like all these available beautiful women in your area that have zero interest in you. It's just like all these people like you're like hit like on and like they're like nah.
He
What's
sees
up?
porn. He sees porn. They say hot chicks in your area, and he's like, I know.
That's what I'm trying to tell them. Yeah.
What's in your bio for Bumble?
Oh, all it says in my bio is, and it's just an old joke. I go, good news, I still fit in the same jeans I wore in high school. Bad news, I'm still wearing the same jeans I wore in high school.
Women don't take you seriously, huh?
I think we did this on the marathon. We went through my dating profile.
What
Yeah,
did we
she's
come
just
up with?
checking if you took the advice. That's all.
No, I really haven't been on the dating apps. I'm like all over the place. I don't know what's going on in my life, so I'm not trying to attach myself to anyone right now. If that makes sense.
All of
It
this makes
does
sense.
make.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I went to school for a couple of years. It makes sense. I liked in your album, right, when you were talking about being 12 years old on the basketball. Was it basketball? And legally, the coach had to put you in for 4 minutes. So he's staring at the clock.
Yeah.
3:58, 3:59. Timeout. All right, Ray. Good job. And then they substitute you. And next thing you know, your parents are rooting for your bullies.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Do you remember those days, like playing sports?
I didn't play sports. I didn't masturbate. You're the guy who had it going on.
Nothing with a bat, nothing with balls for Keith.
Right.
Keith was in band.
Right.
Nice.
That's
What'd you
funny.
play, Keith?
You really could think of positive about anything, right, Mike? Good for you.
I mean, I think I can.
Mike worked at the Barnes & Noble's cafe, I learned, thanks to his album.
That's correct.
And he says he enjoyed it when they ran out of the everything bagel because he could tell customers, sorry, we're out of everything.
Uh-huh.
That they didn't shoot you in the face is amazing that you're still here.
I mean, Keith, number one, I appreciate you doing the research, listening to the album, even though this one doesn't feature you on any of the tracks. It's above and
I
beyond.
didn't know that.
You're a hero. That's true. That's why you did it. Never mind. Gratitude retracted. And I will say that my goal when I was doing jokes from behind the counter at the Barnes & Noble, proudly serving Starbucks coffee, even though we were not a Starbucks. I also liked when people thought we were a Starbucks. And I really enjoyed when people were like, can I use this Starbucks gift card? And I would say no. And they would point at the logo and I would point at the words around it, indicating that the customer was not correct. I always enjoyed that at the time. But so, for example, if someone looks at the whole case and sees that we're not actually out of everything, and I say we are out of everything when they ask, what kind of bagels do you have? I believe that people can enjoy what I say and not do violence to me.
Do you see, I see fast food murders daily, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Do you look back and be like, man, I really pushed it?
I guess now that you're saying it, yes, I do. I'm always ready to be like, oh, I'm just joking. You know, if I put down 2 coffees, one's large and one's small, and I say, I forget which one is which. And if they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh no, I remember that one's the large one. I'm so sorry. Have a nice day.
Yeah, he was talking about how he got a burrito and a burrito bowl, and his friend got, he got one, the friend got the other, and they put them both in front of them, and he's like, okay, which one's which? I don't see how it's worth your life, but I do like having fun.
I mean, some people jump out of planes. This is what I do.
Risk takers.
A woman was arrested at McDonald's in Cocoa, Florida, brandishing a gun in the drive-thru and pointing it at an employee due to an argument over a non-existent menu item. She said she saw commercials about the cheeseburger bundle special. They said, we don't know what the fuck that is. We don't know why they put things on TV without telling us. She pulled out a gun and said, I know what it is. It's free fucking fries, asshole. And they go, oh, no, I can't do that. And so then she drives to the second window. And then cops find her in her car with her gun. And she makes it clear there was a cheeseburger bundle advertisement and they don't have it.
So they let her go?
Like, so they let her go based on advertising laws. Yes. No, they did arrest her. She was behind the wheel with the gun in her passenger seat.
Because she thinks she's right. They always think they're right, and they wait for the cops. It's so interesting.
M&P Shield 9mm she had, 26 years old, Quavi Young. It had a drum with it. It had like 50 more bullets that added to a pistol. It looks ridiculous.
Wow. Oh, like the thing that Rambo wears across his chest?
Just like something Dick Tracy would have on his gun, the big circle where you put the ammo in.
Oh, wow.
So she said
she's a bad aim. She's like, well, if I miss with the first one, here we go.
Well, there was a special on a bundle. A bundle of bullets.
Yeah.
I have my bundle. So they gave her a gun. They're like, this is a good gun. It's a solid Smith & Wesson, holds 8 rounds. And she's like, not enough. I got to eat later, Do you have like
one for each fry I was supposed to get?
One for each McDonald's that didn't give her the thing that didn't exist.
They said you can buy a burger and the fries separately. And she said, that's not what I'm here about.
This is why Myq is vegan. I mean, we finally understand.
One reason.
Where's the beef?
Yeah.
The victim, so here's what happened. Right before the pistol, it looks like, was brandished. The victim then asked Young, said, hey, we don't have the bundle. She got mad, and he said, why are you mad over a simple issue? Well, that would do it. That would do it. Why are you mad, bro? No, now you get a gun.
That's like saying, what are you looking at?
Yeah, right. Then the cops also learned that Young didn't have a valid driver's license. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy. Don't break the law when you're breaking the law. One law at a time. You either have a gun in your hand for French fries or you're driving without a license.
Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. Is she like, really, I'm going to kill over a cheeseburger? Seriously.
Just intent to cheeseburger.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a kill, slowly, right, Myq?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's correct. Thank you, Chemda, for speaking for the voiceless.
With a microphone hole.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did enjoy. You know what? Ray DeVito, your podcast, which is called
Rock Bottom Podcast.
You had Myq on fairly recently.
Yes.
It's true.
And I learned that Myq Kaplan grinds his teeth at night. In fact, in his sleep, bites his cuticles. Is this a true story, Myq?
Keith, I'm surprised that in the over 100 shows I've been here that it hasn't come up, but I bit my fingernails from childhood into adulthood. I stopped biting them for the most part during the day, but I then would find myself biting my nails at night, and the mouth guard, the night guard I wear to protect my teeth from the grinding that I do, every day I'm grinding, I now, as a bonus, don't bite my nails as much because the night guard protects me, my nails, and my teeth from myself.
Do you know what this pleases me? I think
Knew it
because
would.
it does. Do you know why?
Yes. Can
Go
I?
ahead.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because people like me and Mike, these people want to tell you that they're fine. We're all
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's okay. The glass is half full.
Mm-hmm.
You have some water. You should be grateful.
I think the glass is
Oh,
totally full. Yeah.
turns out, turns out you're very nervous at night. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
admit it. So your body is telling you, I'm going to do it at night when you can't stop me and pretend you're so relaxed. Is that why
You're
you feel
all,
good
yeah,
about it?
exactly. You were really all wound up. These glasses are bullshit. They're breaking in your own house. You're doing it to yourself. You're breaking these half full glasses when
Keith,
you're not looking. I
I
love
think
it. I love it. You're human, Mike. This is good news.
number one, you're right. I am human. I do get nervous sometimes, and as last time I was on the show just a couple weeks ago, thanks for having me back. I remember talking about how I hadn't eaten, and sometimes I get a little higher strung when I haven't eaten as much. So I guess during the night when I haven't eaten for many hours, my body's like, we need to eat. So I think that's all that's happening. I'm just trying to fill up on whatever I have around, which is cuticle.
I do. It does please me. What's that, Ray?
Did you guys grind your teeth? I don't think I've ever. I don't know if I grind my teeth.
Do you
I
go to
do
the
grind my
dentist?
teeth, but I don't
Yeah.
lie about how shitty the world is.
Mike,
I know why I grind my teeth.
Mike, do you, that makes sense that like you'd be hungry. I wonder if you're also like full of energy while you're sleeping. I
I'm a-
wonder if you do exercise every day because like Ray DeVito, from what I understand, you figured out that you have to run
Yeah.
about 5 miles a day, or you're just going to be too speedy on the inside, right?
Yeah, I can't fall asleep at night. Yeah, I have to get all the anxiety out.
Mike, I'm not saying you are exactly Ray DeVito. I probably believe that
Thank
you're
you.
the exact opposite.
Go
So,
on.
is this the only thing you have in common, Myq Kaplan?
Thank you for asking. So do you guys know about the Oura ring? It is like a sleep detection. Like it has, it's
Jesus.
connected
What
to
are
an
you,
app.
the Green Lantern?
No, I'm just a human
A
with a
magical
ring that's
We just
connected to an
established
app.
he's a human. This is a big day.
I mean, the Green Lantern is human as well. He is a human with a ring that gives him powers. But so my girlfriend and I read a book called Why We Sleep. I'm about halfway through it, and it's about, sleep hygiene and the things that can help one get better sleep. And so this tells us every morning how much deep sleep, how much REM, non-REM, how much we woke up in the night, what our heart rate was, what our temperature was. And it, helps you be like, oh, maybe I should go to sleep earlier. Maybe I should make these changes.
Ooh, I want to do that. And then whoever sleeps the worst, that's the person who doesn't make breakfast.
Yeah, that sounds very reasonable.
Does your ring have bite marks on it?
It does not have bite marks on it.
Okay.
It's very sturdy. I do bite it, of course, and I bite my ring at you, Keith. The thing that I want to add is in the app, it also keeps track of the exercise I do during the day. If I'm walking, it'll be like, oh, we think we detected an exercise, or if you.
So what's
do
that? Like
anything.
It's like the iPhone, the Apple wristband.
It's like
but
a
just on your
Fitbit.
finger?
Yeah. It is like a device like that. And so sometimes when I do comedy shows, it'll be like, we think that you did an aerobic exercise that is moderate, like walking or jogging. And I'll be like, it is kind of like that. Even this tomorrow, during this time, it'll be like, you were exercising. This is Rini has always said that she thinks that my personality burns calories, and this app now confirms it.
Holy shit.
That's
And
funny.
then it'd be fun to compare like time on stage and time having sex. Which one revved up my system more?
Well, obviously, when I'm on stage for like an hour, but when I'm having sex, it's like 8 hours. So it's not a fair comparison.
Hey, there you go. Does she have a ring too?
She does.
Did you buy it for her?
Yeah,
I
he
believe
put a
I
ring on
did.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, how was that when you're like, hey, listen, I got a ring for you? Was she like, oh
Well,
my God, this is the big moment? And then it's a Fitbit ring.
It's a funny thing. Well, number one, she asked me if we could get them, and so
Oh,
she
okay.
knew
So
about
she
this
knew,
ring.
she knew.
So but I did the other day. She left, I think, her ring in either the bathroom or the kitchen because she'd taken
You
it off to
decided to
wash
be
her hands. And then I did bring it in and got down on one knee and offered it to her because that was
No
something
way
that we
that
thought
could go
would be
wrong.
fun.
Yeah. He loves danger. These everything bagels,
Yeah.
his Barnes and Noble stuff.
No kidding.
Dude,
I'm a
did you give
human.
Did you give away free stuff? Like, I used to wait tables at Houlihan's in Times Square when I first got to New York City, and I had the shittiest section because they have the one section that looks over Times Square. All the waiters at like Lifetimers, they always have those sections. So I always got the shit sections by the kitchen. I would give people free French fries, free sodas because they didn't want to be there. I would give people free shit all the time, but that's just me.
I will tell you this: when I went to Brandeis,
Number one, you got to count it. You got to count.
Okay.
It. Number one.
All right, number one. I went to Brandeis.
That's his version of eh.
I worked in dining services, and for 1 year I worked as a cashier in like the late night dining hall where people had like their meal plan that gave them like $8 worth of food. So you could get like a sandwich for $5 and a drink for $2 or whatever you want. And if people didn't use their full allotment, then the money just went away. The company got the money. And so if somebody came by and just wanted, but if you didn't use your meal, it just went away. So people would come, they'd get a soda, they'd get a sandwich, they wouldn't use the whole thing. But for anyone who didn't use the whole allotment, I would charge them for other things and gather like a container full of things that then I would give away. So I feel like I technically wasn't stealing from the company, but also if they knew what I was doing, they would tell me to stop it.
I mean, you weren't, if we're not going to count Peter Pan stealing, if that's like the branding.
Robin Hood?
Because Robin Hood. Shit.
Some guy dressed in green.
I don't trust either of them.
Imagine Femda during the movie competition game describing, she's like, look, he's flying through the air. Obviously, it's Robin Hood. Yeah.
And really what
Kevin Costner.
What I'm describing is Aladdin. He's wonderful.
It's a cartoon. I know that. It's not a real guy.
Well, sometimes you don't know that.
Yeah, that's
Speaking
true.
of danger, I see here in Manhattan, people putting up barricades in case there's going to be Trump riots. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. What do we think about, if you're anti-Trump, is it bad news that he's being arrested because it makes him some kind of hero?
It seems really weird that people who like him, who are like, he was always the one yelling about law and order, and now they're like, this is a woke district attorney. I'm like, have you ever heard of or met a district attorney? They're the ones who are arresting everyone, that the liberal progressive people are like, stop doing that. Stop putting too many people in jail. And now Republicans and conservatives are like, stop putting people in jail. I'm like, let's just swap for a sec. It's like a Freaky Friday.
I think this is weird. Here's my take on the whole thing.
Yes. Ray thought this through. I like it. Go ahead, Ray. Ray's pointing to his first index finger, by the way.
I didn't know we could do a whole take. Come on.
Here's what I think. First of all, nobody actually wants Trump to be president. Nobody does. And I lean.
Okay. He thought this through, Hemda. We don't need those eyes. He thought this through.
Well, there's some lunatics. There's some people out there.
Eyes.
Yeah. All right. I think it's a weird thing because the Republicans, like as someone that leans left, I would love Trump to run for president because there's no way he's going to win. There's no way he's going to win.
Are we there again? Holy shit.
I'm having deja vu with you specifically, Ray, but go on.
I don't think there's a chance in hell. I think this is a weird thing because Republicans kind of want him to get arrested, get in trouble, so he's gone, where I think people to the left are like, no, don't arrest him. Let him try to be the Republican candidate. Let them fight, and they're going to implode from the inside. We could see the end of the Republican Party over this. I think they're going to, instead of attacking the Capitol, they're going to attack wherever the Republican capital is. I don't know what the capital of the Republican Party is, but I think that's what they're going to protest. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to protest at the Capitol of the Republican Party. If he does, he's turned that whole Republican Party into a mess, and I think it's going to be fun to watch. He's not going to be president. There's no way.
There you have it. There you have it.
Yeah.
Right. When he became president the first time, and you literally said, there's no fucking way he'll be president. Do you keep that in mind during this time, or no? That you were younger and silly.
This is totally different, Keith.
I couldn't believe he became president the first time, but There's no like now the Republican Party definitely doesn't want him. They want DeSantis. That's who they want.
What about all the flags that we're seeing that represent Trump? What about all the bumper stickers, all the rah-rah, all the actual people currently saying?
Yeah. I'd be fine if there was a bumper sticker that was president. That would be much better.
They're just trying to make friends.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
like going to
know.
church. It's like, that's what the Bible says, but we're here for the crackers. Like that.
I think it's going to implode. I think it's going to
All right,
implode.
there you go. The end of the Republican Party, Ray DeVito is predicting. We'll see. Hey,
Okay.
I don't. Why would I know any different?
We're recording, right?
Here,
Okay.
if I may, Keith, briefly, Trump,
Yeah.
here for the crackers.
That's right. That's right. Adam Sandler is being awarded the Mark Twain Prize, and so other comedians are there, of course, at the
Because he
Kennedy
wrote
Center.
a lot.
Because he what?
Because he wrote a lot.
Oh, the Mark Twain Prize isn't just for people who write, Chemda, even though Mark Twain did write.
That's what I see Adam Sandler
I mean,
doing.
He does write a lot.
He does.
Chris Rock was there to honor him, and he brought up Trump. Are you guys really going to arrest Trump? Because there's, the Biden administration is in this sweet crowd. Do you know this is only going to make him more popular? It's like arresting Tupac. It'd be funny if Chris Rock then said, like, who fucked the shit out of Jada Smith? I'm just saying, we all know it. Anyways, he's just going to sell more records. Are you stupid? He said. He joked that Trump fucked a porn star and paid off someone so his wife couldn't find out. That's romantic. We've all been cheated on. Don't you wish that the person who cheated on you paid off somebody so you wouldn't find out?
Boy, his new special is "We've all been cheated on."
Yeah, we get it, Chris.
Respond.
What's her name? Holy shit. You got somebody, that's for sure.
No, Trump, I wouldn't want him paid off. Just pay me. Pay me off. No, I got to get cheated on and that person gets money.
That's true.
Oh, here's there's a little misprint here in the paper. They mean to say Chris Rock. Trump also took a shot at President Biden, but they mean Chris Rock. Trump was so bad as a president, he was so bad that Joe Biden had to burst off a monument. Biden was dead for 16 years. All right.
Okay, but these are jokes. If Trump is getting arrested, it's because he's getting arrested. We can't not arrest him so that what is happening, Ray? The Republican Party doesn't implode? Is that
so it doesn't implode?
I think they want him arrested so he can't run for president again. But I don't. What do you guys think is going to happen? This is, again, I know nothing about politics.
But he could still run for president, as I understand, right?
Yes, he could, even if he's arrested. He might not be able to vote for himself to have the right to vote, but you could run for president in this great country. I don't think I'm not as sure as you are, Ray, but good for you. I think people don't like a loser, and it's that simple. And that Trump lost his second run is really gonna. People want to be looked at their voting record like they got it right every time, even if it's not the way they wanted. And I don't think people want to vote for a loser, especially these idiots.
I think they still want to vote for him. I think he's the leader that they want. I think when it doesn't happen, they accuse the other side of faking anything, fake news, fake votes.
I more think the regulars, like regular people, as opposed to these insane people that we're picturing.
No,
with the Trump trucks.
I get what you're saying, but I really believe the only reason why Trump didn't win that second time is because the people on the other side were like, remember when we thought it couldn't happen and it did? Now we're coming out. But millions of people voted for him. That's a vote. And they will again.
I live day by day, and I'm just waiting for a mugshot. That's all.
Chemda, here's the thing that I think is both heartening and disheartening is for all the accusations that people like the Republicans made about like voter fraud on the Democrat side that were found out to be not correct. There were like the only fraud stories that we saw were coming from like Republicans that were doing it, or the bulk of them were. And so I think that it's possible the millions of people that voted for Trump are actually fake votes. I think that those are frauds and that there aren't millions of people that would vote for him now. And now those fake votes will be put to DeSantis.
Did you see Biden got in trouble a little bit for making Irish jokes for St. Patrick's Day. He said he's surprised that his distant relatives aren't in jail, and this is Biden, and that he's really not Irish because he doesn't drink alcohol. Why even try to make jokes? Why even fucking try? Use that AI bot and say what it tells you to say.
That
what
might
is
have
so
done
fucking funny about this that could offend people and you don't even mean it? You don't mean it. You don't care. You're just trying to be charming. You're not charming.
Yeah, don't try to be charming. Really, I mean, if Joe Biden didn't learn that with all the silly stories he tried to tell, because you're not on a podcast. You're running the country. No anecdotes from you. Let someone else talk for you when you have those things. It's so weird.
May I offer an anecdote?
Yes, Joe
right
Biden.
now.
Yes.
It is about ChatGPT, and a friend of mine asked it to give him a joke in the style of
Joe Biden.
Dimitri Martin. They asked for a Dimitri Martin style joke, and then they gave him a joke that was a Mitch Hedberg joke, or vice versa.
Oh, that's funny.
And then he was like, "Did you know that you did that?" And they were like, "I'm very sorry, I did that." Even more so, somebody I know asked it for a joke in the style of me, Myq Kaplan, and they wrote back the joke. They're like, "Here's a joke in the style of Myq Kaplan. I just invented a new word, plagiarism." And the thing is that that's a funny joke that I do think is in my style, and I have written similar jokes like that. But that joke in particular was sent to me on Twitter by a fan of mine whose child came up with it. So the ChatGPT plagiarized a joke in my style sent to me and claimed it was, in fact, a joke in my style while purporting to come up with it, which it was, in fact, plagiarism. So if it intended it all, then it did a really good job. But I don't think it meant all that.
Wow. Well,
so we shouldn't make jokes. That's what you're saying.
I mean,
as I understand, the AI collected information only up until a couple of years ago. I forget what the date is. So if that Twitter happened with that child in the last couple of years, it didn't have that information.
Then that's even more bizarre.
I guess, isn't that the monkeys typing on a typewriter? They'll eventually come up with a baby joke.
Yeah, I mean, and also I have in the past decade written other plagiarism jokes that are like that, or I've taken those jokes from other people. And, yeah. Yes.
People are using the AI chat for dating. They're using it on these apps. Let's see here. This woman saying how she got a text from a guy she's known for about 2 years that didn't quite sound like him. I was surprised and hurt, this guy wrote, to hear you refer to me as a narcissist. I would appreciate it if you could share with me what behaviors or actions you have observed that led you to that conclusion. She said it was oddly empathetic. This isn't the guy that I know. And then somehow she found out that he was using the AI chatbot.
But I would appreciate that, though. No, I would appreciate he's confused. And I have the answer for him.
You're trying to trick me. You're not. I looked this up. I read a book. Hey, the AI chatbot made me think about this. You're trying to trick me. You acted like those are the words you typed, and they weren't. So they're not you. So you don't mean it.
But I think I could look up, how to be more, how to communicate better with my partner. And
do you copy and paste the paragraph from the book, or do you think
if I
your
don't
life
know
lessons?
If I don't know how to communicate and this person is helping me, I might copy paste it so I can say it exactly well. Because the reason why I'm even looking for this robot is because I keep getting told I'm misunderstanding or being misunderstood. So why wouldn't I copy verbatim so that I can try it this way? I think we're always trying on a personality. And if we want to change, we need to try on different words.
I think you never met people.
Ha ha ha.
This sounds like a robot that never met people. This guy's a scumbag.
Keith, Chemda, I think you're both right. And,
all right.
And/or it depends on what's going on internally for that person. If the person is truly, as Chemda thinks, trying to learn, trying to improve themselves, like I read some advice columns that offer scripts like this. If a person's like, what can I say to a person in a situation like this to get across what I want to get across and have us have a better connection? And then they'll use those scripts and their intentions are pure. And if Keith is right that this person's...
The bad guy is going to use the good information to do bad guy stuff. The good guy is going to use the good information to do good guy stuff. Like if I'm trying to manipulate you, I'm looking up the same thing as a person who's trying to love you. It's the same information. How do I romance someone and show them how much I love them could be used by someone who wants to get at you for bad reasons or be with you and try to love you properly.
It's
They're
just
both getting the same information.
It's interesting that the story starts and the woman says, "This guy's a narcissist, piece of shit." Here's an example of, by the way, how he tried to use an AI bot, and that's all we know about this guy. But Khemda's like, probably trying to do his best. Have you met people?
Yeah,
I like that in this
just
story.
talk to me. You don't gotta have a robot to talk to me. You're trying to communicate.
I'll
with me,
tell my
talk.
brother. Right, I'll tell my brother a story about some piece of shit, and he's like, "Maybe they're," and I'm like, "I'm the one telling a story. What do you mean? But maybe they're assholes. Your job is to nod."
I honestly think this is just very telling of the person reacting to it, and that's how they would respond.
I'd feel weird if
100%
someone
that.
used a robot to talk to me. I'd feel weird. It's like, just talk to me. I'm right here. Just talk to me. Why are you getting a robot to talk to me?
First of all, sometimes Google has, like an auto suggestion of like, thanks very much. And I'll click that because I would say thanks very much. And that's a robot like that. Sometimes the robot is a tool that can help us communicate the way that we want to. I understand if it's writing a dissertation, if it's writing a whole book, like that's not you communicating. But in this case, I love that Khemda's like, the good guy will use this with the information and the bad guy will do this with the same. And I like that, Khemda, you're basically like, I'm the good guy and Keith's the bad guy.
Some men are using AI to do the grunt work of scamming apps such as Tinder, Bumble, Hinge for matches and engaging in direct message chats with women.
Oh, I get bots responding to me all the time. A lot of time. And it's a bot. You could tell immediately like, hey, cutie. Nobody's that serious says that.
Nobody thinks that.
Nobody thinks I'm a cutie.
Hey, cutie. I think you're cute. And I think the bots, they're going to keep getting better and better, and you will not always be able to tell.
I have to say, when I watched the movie Her, I was like, yeah, I would fall in love with my bot. It's so nice. It's like, you put together a book for me by the things that I already wrote. Thank you for organizing my life.
I love that at the beginning of this episode, Khemda's like, when I discovered orgasms, I was like, I don't need another person. And now you're like, and all I need is a robot to say nice things to me. And I think we're all set.
And this lotion, and these speakers, and this globe, and that's all I need too. And this phone, and this mug, and
this
that's
iPad,
all I
this
need.
microphone, this straw with this.
I also like that we're some people here are like, I don't want to be using technology to connect with people as we speak from 4 different places through a
But it's not
computer.
robots. I'm talking to you. Or am I talking to a robot? I don't know.
I am a human that grinds his teeth.
Yeah.
I've been plugging into AI every time I speak, so I'm just reading.
There's an app called CupidBot. It costs $15 to access. The price will increase when it's fully launched. It uses the GPT-4, the ChatGPT that we all know about. It's trained to generate complex responses to prompts. The user can select one of 7 tones for their bot, including personas such as rich guy. I guess you're like, hey, I can't wait to see you. Yacht. You can be rich guy. You can be nonchalant guy. That's a cool bot.
Oh, I want to be that guy.
Yeah,
you end up dating somebody and you realize it's a robot, but you're like, I like the robot better. So you only talk to him over text. It's like, remember, did you see Jojo Rabbit when the kid's reading letters to the girl but her boyfriend's really dead and she knows it, but he's trying to trick her and she's like, I like this still just the same. That's somebody that's going to love a guy who uses the robots.
I didn't see that movie. It's on my watch list. Is it good? Thumbs up?
No, it's terrible.
It is
Really?
good.
I just pick out parts that are fucking fantastic.
I was going to watch it once. And instead, JoJo Dancer came up, the Richard Pryor movie. So I was like, oh yeah, I never really saw it. So I watched JoJo Dancer instead.
Okay.
Right, you got to stop using robots to help you pick what you're watching.
But I just wanted that Richard Pryor movie, which it was all right. It could have went deeper into Richard Pryor's life. It was all right.
Okay.
But that's a movie he wrote about himself and like all the stuff he went through.
Anyone
But-
else watch JoJo something? And it's JoJo review time.
Yeah.
We got 14 minutes past the hour, and
I saw Robin Hood. Is that a JoJo movie? Yeah.
Joe Robin. Joe Robin. Yeah.
I am a man who will. No, that's Karate Kid. What was a song from Robin Hood?
I don't like where
All
this is
for
going,
One?
and that's
Yeah.
all. That's all I can say right now.
All right.
All right, so here's what you want to do. You want to check out Ray DeVito's album. It's called A Life Without Balconies. This guy tells it like it is. Do you tell it like it is, Ray?
Of course I do.
Right.
No robots telling these jokes.
Hello, this is
It's
all you,
just
right?
me,
You promise
just
this is all
me.
you?
It was all me the whole time.
All right. And Myq Kaplan's album, live in between albums. Now, I say
Thank
like
you.
them both, but there's only so much space for love in your heart, so it'll be fun to see who shines.
Should
I
we do
mean,
the
of
poll
the two
if
of
you-
us.
If
Oh,
you have
sorry.
only $15 left, do you get Ray's album or Mike's album?
Oh my goodness, people think I'm the mean one.
Wow.
Holy shit,
If you
yeah.
could only go on Spotify once. But I mean,
if you
if
only
you want
have
to
an
think
hour
about
left on Earth,
yeah, then take your pick. But I will say that of the two of us, the way that I spell Myq Kaplan and the way that Ray DeVito spells Ray DeVito, only one of us has A and I in our name. So who's the human now?
Do you know what's fun? This is interesting. Mike, who changed his spelling to MYQ, always gets it right. When Ray writes his name DeVito, a real name he was given, as opposed to making it up himself, he forgets if it's a capital V or not. I think that's funny.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I capitalize it when it's capitalized right here.
It's capitalized right here, but sometimes
We
it's
did
not, and I
that.
wonder why. I just wonder why.
I don't.
Who has the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it interesting or not interesting at all?
No,
Would a psychiatrist think it means something or no? I don't know.
I don't have a psychiatrist anymore. I didn't like him anyways.
Yeah, fuck him.
He didn't. He didn't get me. Like I don't know. There's not really a connection. It was like kind of a weird.
did he write your name with a capital V?
I don't think he wrote my name. Period.
What didn't you like about him, Ray?
Every time I saw him, was like re-explain. It's like, okay, where were we? And it's like, I thought you knew.
Right.
Like you don't remember anything. Every time we're like starting, like we're two brand new people meeting each other. It's like a first date all over again. It's like I'm the same guy that was here a week ago. You took 0 notes on what I was talking about. Get out of here.
That sucks.
I like when in the album Ray talks about how a doctor said, "Oh, what? Okay, and we're checking you out for other stuff. By the way, what do you take for your ADHD?" And he's like, "What?" Was that good to find out? Like, oh, that's why I can't focus on things or this kind of thing. Was that good news?
Yeah, I found out. By the way, I took medicine for what's the one that everyone likes? Adderall.
Ritalin. Ritalin?
Nah.
Adderall's great. In fact, there's a shortage right now. So
Well, yeah, whatever or Vyvanse. Was it Vyvanse? Maybe it's Vyvanse. Anyways, it didn't work. It just made me freak out more. But like everyone that I told that I had a prescription for it was like, "What? I'll buy those from you." It's like, oh, I could have just filled them and sold them. But yeah, it was either Adderall or Vyvanse or one of those. Anyways, I didn't like it.
When you say freak out more, what do you mean?
It just made me more anxious. It just my anxiety just increased.
what did the doctor say about that?
My
To throw
doctor
it out?
sucks. I was having seizures, and my doctor kept saying it was anxiety attacks. It literally took a neurologist to be like, make me wear an EEG on my head for 2 weeks. To be like, oh no, you're having non-epileptic seizures. You need to be on Keppra. My doctor could have given 2 shits. My doctor sucks.
Wow.
He stinks.
Have you changed your doctor since?
No.
No, I keep getting distracted.
Fool me once. Shame on doctor.
Anything else the audience should know, Ray DeVito?
Rock Bottom Podcast. That's my podcast. Check that out. And yeah, follow me on social media. It's Ray DeVito, Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff.
I was on it. I was telling him, he said, come on here and tell me how to improve the show. So I gave Ray the business. So if you don't know that behind the scenes, I seem like a big asshole. But
no, he's a good guy. He gives me notes all the time. I love it. He'll listen periodically and like give me notes, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mike,
Myq
would you like some notes from Keith?
I'd be happy to receive notes. I'm always happy to receive the business from others and the pleasures from myself.
Oh, I get the business. I get the business indeed.
Oh, another racist on your show. Good job. You know, he'll get those kind of texts. You don't mind, all right.
Mike, we were on your podcast too.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
can people find us on you?
Oh, thank you for asking. What a selfless question. The podcast that I interview friends on is called Broccoli and Ice Cream, and the one that's just me talking is The Faucet. And those are some other places. You put my name in wherever you want. Myq Kaplan, spell it my way, and find my albums, find my podcasts, get my Substack newsletter. And if you're in Edinburgh, I don't know if you have fans in Edinburgh, I'm coming back there in August to do the Fringe, and I'll be doing some warm-up shows in America before then, including LA in June. But I will take notes on that, Keith, or a paraphrase.
Yeah. You got it. All right. That's that. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, click likes, click whatever you're staring at right now when you listen to this podcast. We appreciate it very much. We'll talk to you soon.
KeithAndTheGirl.com